Washington, D.C., they have this thing where I think it means we're number one in Washington, D.C., but all the pink-haired people throw up this sign, and I think, that means we're number one, right? I choose to take that as that symbol in Washington. But all kidding aside,
Hello and welcome back, and thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and your co-host, me, Double D, and you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. The GOAT has struck since yesterday, and him and JD Vance have been just going on tirades, destructing the media, destructing the liberals. Bro, it's just been great. So if you guys don't know, Trump got Israel and Iran to come to a ceasefire. They kind of broke it a little bit. It was more so they had a time frame to, hey, you guys got a time to finish up doing what you're doing, and then stop, and it's a ceasefire. Israel decided to go a little bit too hard on Iran. Iran struck back a little bit, and Trump just let them know, hey, I'm in charge right now. You guys are going to do things by how we do things, and that's that. So you could tell by this clip that we're getting ready to show you, Trump's a little bit upset with Israel just as much as he is Iran, which goes to show the narrative of people say how Israel controls Trump. No, it goes to show Trump's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers right now.
And I think Trump's showing him that he is the boss. Hell, he might have to start his own show, call him Daddy.
Right. I mean, we already got NATO and everything, but that's for later in the episode to show.
I know. I had to throw the joke out there.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't see yesterday, Trump decided to just hold a little briefing, let everybody know what's going on before he jumped back on Air Force One. Let's start it up.
Well, hey, real quick, before you
go ahead.
Say before you start. Hey, y'all, remember to hit that like, subscribe, smash those notifications, and
share it.
Share it. Thank you.
From the region suggests that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
I like it. Got to get away from MSDNC and the Clinton News Network, because they're just going to spin the narrative to make it seem like you want to keep this war going on for the next 30 years.
I just love how he owns those news stations now, dude.
And there's nothing they could do about it.
No, you remember how much flack he used to get for criticizing CNN
I love it.
and MSDNC? And now, dude, it's like, if he doesn't do it, we'll be like, wait a minute, aren't you going to crack on CNN?
Yeah, like, are you all right, Trump? You're not saying you're not throwing jabs at him. Are you sure you're good? Because to me, this is how Trump shows signs that he's all the way there, by still being able to throw the jokes at the media.
And dude, he's got their number, man. I mean, he really is. When it comes to CNN and MSDNC, he really is their daddy, bro.
He really is.
And I know I'm early on that, but still, he's really got him. He's got their number, bro. He's got it.
Yep.
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed.
Right.
You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum. So is MSDNC. They're all. And frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should that.
You know the one thing I love about that.
Dude, I'm almost crying of laughter.
I didn't even know that he called them MSDNC, and I was calling them that.
Yeah, he's been doing it a lot now, dude. I love it.
It's hilarious. Like, shout out to you, Trump. We are Gemini twins in the mind.
He is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. Dude, I used to believe Ronald Reagan was the greatest president of all time. Sorry, Ronnie. You've been passed up, brother.
Those pilots hit their targets, and the targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
Do you believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear program. Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They late in the evening, it was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots.
Very right. Seriously.
I think MSDNC ought to apologize. I think
they owe him an apology too. You guys down in the comments below, let us know. Do you think MSDNC and the Clinton News Network, do you think that they owe these pilots and Trump an apology for everything that they said? I know I apologize because I was wrong.
Fortunately, I wasn't wrong. I was just on.
Well, I guess I wasn't wrong. I was having a wait and see attitude.
Yeah, you were, dude. It's hey, you know what I mean? It's one of those that, dude, it could have went either way, Bert. Yeah. It could have went either way. Yep. I just had confidence. I mean, I was on the fence a little bit because I was like, well, I don't really want to go to World War, but at the same time, I understand he did what he had to do and why he had to do it. It was the only thing that could be done. Because sometimes, like you say, peace through strength. I know I use the term peace through Marines. Pretty much means the same thing.
Exactly.
These guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers.
I love it. I love it.
You're gutless losers. I say that because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch this garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question, Double D, right?
I'm just seeing this part. I've seen the first part of it. I haven't seen any of this part yet, dude. Oh, shit. Hey, audience, you're actually getting my first time reaction to this. Go on, what's your question, Bird? What's your question?
So have you're familiar with the Terminator movies?
I love the Terminator movies.
Okay, which one do you think's better and more iconic, Terminator 1 or Terminator 2?
I would say Terminator 1 because that was my first one, and I was like, I think 12 or 13 when it came out.
I think Terminator 2 is the more known movie, the more famous movie. Yeah, that's the
one with Edward Furlong, right?
Yeah, where he, what is he, T-3000 or whatever, T-2000, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I feel like that's the better, and I feel like that's what we're getting with Trump right now. Like, this is Terminator 2 right here.
We get Terminator, the Trumpator Part 2.
Trumpator
2.
Right, they're both great movies, but the second one, to me, is more of a classic.
Dude, he is ripping it, bro. I love it. Oh my God, this is hilarious.
A guy named Brian Roberts. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
There you go. Right there. All you people that say Trump's bought out by Israel, no, there you go. Somebody who's bought out by Israel, they would not call them out like that. Not in the middle of a war. Not one day.
I did see this part. I've only seen the beginning and the end of this clip.
I love the middle.
Dude, that was the best part. I can't believe I missed that. I'm like, God,
Trump has been low-key going savage this whole presidency against the media.
Dude, there's not a skit in comedy that could top this guy, man. There's no way.
Like me and somebody were talking. This looks like something that could be on like a Dave Chappelle skit right here.
Absolutely, man. This is absolutely.
Right.
But he's serious.
Yeah, serious.
We're laughing because it's so fucking funny.
But he's very serious.
but he's dead serious. But it's like, wow. Anyway, we're going to let him finish because this is great.
I don't. Oh, man. No, that's not it.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy
exactly.
I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land.
Exactly.
I'm happy about that.
And to me, that's a transparent president who's calling it how he sees it.
Yeah, this is my favorite part coming. This part I've seen, but this
best part ever. This goes down to me with Abu Kardi. He's dead. He died like a dog. Like this goes down. This little part. This whole speech.
Crybaby Baghdadi.
Crybaby Baghdadi. I wouldn't have cried.
I would have cried.
This goes down. This goes down with one of them. Or when he annihilated the Asian chick when she said, "Why would you say that to me? Because you asked me the question."
Yeah, like like it was a WTF moment. Like,
are you serious? Like what?
Yeah.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand
I love it. Hell yeah. That's my president right
Trump
there.
said a naughty.
Oh my God, dude. There was an AI skit on Facebook where people were protesting him saying the F word.
Oh
he
my
was just
God.
An AI skit.
I love it.
But it was pretty hilarious, and I made a comment. I was like,
Dude.
"Look, I know it's AI, but you know damn well somewhere there's some group of libtards and he used the F,
Right.
he used the F word."
So,
Oh my God.
so at NATO yesterday, who is this? One of the prime ministers. Who was that? His name was.
Is that the dude from Germany or?
Yeah, is it Richard Heffy or something like that? Hiffy. It was something different.
I can't
I think
remember-
they'll
I can't
say his
remember the
name
dude.
here in a minute. But
No, it's the guy from Norway, right?
Yeah.
Or the Netherlands. Netherlands.
He addressed Trump as daddy, and what he meant by it is we have two children in Iran and Israel fighting, and Trump had to step in and say, no, bad boys, bad Israel,
boys.
bad Iran. That's what he meant by it. So here, we'll check it out.
And I think they're going to remember this day. And this was a big day for NATO. You know, this was a very big day. They took it. One of the gentlemen said, you know what? We've been trying to raise the rate for 30 years, he said, 20 years, from almost the beginning. And he's been there for a long time. He said, until you came along, it never happened. What you did is amazing. It's been sort of an amazing day for a lot of reasons, but also for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think they can do it without you, though, in the future? Can they do it without
Well, ask Mark.
States?
I mean, you have to ask Mark, okay?
Right. But like, why would you, like, I don't understand that question because it's like, they should be able to do it without us. They're all grown military men.
Yeah. Secretary General Root. Yeah, that's the dude from the Netherlands, I think. Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
They'd be fighting right now.
Mr. President?
Yeah.
If the Iranians do rebuild, would the United States...
If they rebuild?
Would the United States strike again? And I've also a question about...
Sure.
I'm not going to have to worry about that.
Sure. Why not?
Years. Very tough to rebuild because the whole thing is collapsed. In other words, inside, it's all collapsed. Nobody can get in to see it because it's collapsed. You can't go into some room that has, 10 million tons of rock in it. And the tunnels are totally collapsed.
If they rebuild.
Well, they've already looked at the tunnels. This was an unbelievable hit by genius pilots and genius people in the military, and they're not being given credit for it because we have scum that's in this group.
I love it. Scum.
Some great reporters, but you have scum.
Scum.
CNN is scum.
I love how he does his thing and then he points to him.
He does, man. It's great. Oh my God.
Let's back that up.
Man.
Let's back that up. I want to see it again.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it again. Yeah. CNN is scum.
You have some great reporters, but you have scum.
He pointed to him.
MSDNC is scum. The New York Times is scum.
Scum.
They're bad people. They're sick. And what they've done is they're trying to make this unbelievable victory into something less. Now, even they admit that it was hit very hard, okay? But it wasn't hit hard. It was hit brutally, and it knocked it out. The original word that I use, I guess it got us in trouble because it's a strong word. It was obliteration. And you'll see that. And it's going to come out. Israel is doing a report on it now, I understand. And I was told that they said it was total obliteration. They had guys that go in there after the hit, and they say it was total obliteration. And you know, I don't want it for me. I want it for the pilots. I want it for the military. They did such a good job. If you were in the Situation Room with me, with the generals and all of the people that did such a good job, and then they get demeaned by these idiots at CNN who can't get ratings, the place is dying. Nobody wants to even waste their time going on their shows. So they fall with the New York Times, who's...
Bro, this is
awesome.
I just listen. I love that our president says this about the media. It is the greatest, most refreshing thing in the freaking world, bro.
You know, the question that the media has always been asking is, how do they feel like they were late to some multi-billionaire? There's your reason, CNN.
Right.
There's your reason, MSDNC. There's your reason, freaking, what's the other one that I can't stand? The New York Times.
Yeah.
He mentioned them 3 times. So that's the reason right there. It ain't rocket science. It's right there. Because he says what we want to say. Well, and we can, but
right.
You know, but it sounds so much better coming from him. You know what I mean? I couldn't say it better than he does.
So,
you know, yeah, that is scum.
So,
I fucking love it, man. That was great. See you, that is scum.
White jacket? Yeah. Go ahead, give my mic. Hello.
hello.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO
He called you daddy. He called you daddy earlier.
He's gonna get
kind of children?
He likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. He, daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of like children?
Yo, look at Marco Rubio. He is losing it. Look at this. I don't even know if you noticed that. Watch Marco Rubio. He's fucking losing it, bro. Watch Rubio.
If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? He did it very affectionate. He, daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that. But do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own?
They need help a little bit at the beginning, and I think they'll be able.
Oh my gosh, dude, I'm dead.
Rubio's losing it back there, dude. He was just like,
you want to know the thing I love most about all this, right? Trump is starting to rub off on JD Vance so fucking much. Except JD Vance is like a professional debater, and he's well spoken, but he also knows about the struggles. So it's like he's us. He's like one of us getting into Congress.
He is one of us. He literally is one of us. He's from our state. He grew up with the same type of, the same kind of, I grew up in poverty. I know what it was like. You know what I mean? Dude, I had a father that was in and out of prison most of my life. So I get it.
Yeah, my dad was off doing drugs, you know what I mean, whole time. Yeah. So we have JD Vance, and you didn't see this yet, correct?
No, I have not.
So we saved this. We saved this for you to see live.
Before you do that, let me just say, okay, first of all, I love JD, so I just want the audience to know you're going to get another. This is me watching it with you. So let that clip roll, Bird.
We're arresting Mexican drug cartel members at record numbers. Yep. What I see is an Ohio Republican Party and a national Republican Party that is fighting successfully for the American dream.
I love it.
Yep.
So what I'd ask all of you, when you're going out there and you're knocking on doors, when you're going out there and you're making phone calls, when you're contributing hard-earned money to political candidates, when you yourself are running, because I know it's not always easy to be a political candidate. Trust me. In Washington, D.C., they have this thing where I think it means we're number one in Washington, D.C., but all the pink-haired people throw up this sign. And I think, that means we're number one, right? I choose to take that symbol.
Throw your number ones up, everybody.
That's right.
Throw the number ones up.
Throw our number ones up.
Throw our number ones up.
I just don't care. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All kidding aside. All kidding aside, sometimes this job of politics is inspiring.
Man, JD Vance is a bulldog, bro. He is a bulldog.
He definitely is, man. Wow, that was hilarious.
I love it.
Oh my God.
All right, so now let's get into something, I don't want to say more serious, but something that could be tragic down the line for New York City. They recently decided to pick a far-left trans activist,
Democratic socialist,
defund the police, socialist libtard. And if he becomes mayor of New York City, mark my words, you think it's bad now, just wait. It's going to get even worse.
I thought of a name for New York City if the Zohan wins. I know it's a Zoran, but I don't care.
Go ahead.
He's gonna be the Zohan. Don't mess with the Zohan. Anyway, I thought of it. They're going to be the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republic of New York City.
Oh my gosh, you might be freaking right. That looks like where they're freaking headed, dude.
Yeah, they're that's what I mean, dude. If this guy wins, it's going to be the closest to communism the city of New York has ever gotten. And you can damn well believe every single billionaire that lives in that city or that runs business in that city. You know what? All I can say is come to Ohio, man.
Yeah,
come to Ohio. Bring your business here.
The weather's actually a little bit better in Ohio because we don't get as bad of winters.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much always felt the same to me.
But they can get some pretty bad winters in New York.
Yeah, but they can also go 3 or 4 years without a winter, but they still get that crazy cold breeze off the Atlantic. Anyway, bottom line is, if this guy wins,
New York City's done. You're done.
New York City is done. So my advice to New York City, though, if you're not going to go with the Republican that Scott Lebedo has been endorsing, stick with Mayor Adams. At least stick with Mayor Adams. But you know what? I know how New York is, though, dude. He keeps talking about freebies and free medical care for, free, not medical care. I mean, they already have that.
Yeah,
free medical care for the immigrants, of course.
Yeah.
Free housing. He wants to do rent.
They said he wants to take $60 million and put it into low development housing or whatever.
Yeah, that, and then he also wants to do rent freezing and stuff so they can't raise the rents with inflation, and he wants to do free child care, and it's like, listen, dude, I mean, who's going to pay for that? You know who he said he's going to pay for it?
We are.
The 10% from the wealthy. Well, guess what? They're going to go to Florida. They're going to go to Ohio.
They're going to go to Texas.
They're going to go to Texas. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
They're going to go to those 3 states, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. As a matter of fact, I hope they do, because Vivek Ramaswamy is going to make it very business friendly here. So,
there you go.
New York corporation billionaires, hey, we don't have a problem with you. Come here. We're more than
Moha
to have you.
Moha,
That's
make
right.
Ohio great again. No,
That's
it's
right.
Moga.
Moga, baby, Moga. That's
so let's get into this Democratic far left trans fat liberal socialist.
Democratic socialist Zoran Mamdani may now be in the driver's seat to run America's biggest city. Mamdani declared victory over former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Blue City's Democratic mayoral primary yesterday. And some are viewing his win as a message to the wider Democratic Party, which may push them to go all in on far-left candidates. Hello, everyone. This is outnumbered. I'm Emily Campagno here with my co-host
She is
Harris
so
Faulkner. And also
So
joining us
is
today, Molly Line, Fox News correspondent, Noah
She's
Tishby,
not as
Israel's
hot.
first special envoy for combating anti-Semitism and best-selling author, and Lawrence Jones, co-host
I
of
love
Fox and
Lawrence
Friends.
Jones. He's awesome, man.
Now, the 33-year-old state assemblyman held a commanding lead over the three-term ex-governor all night long. Cuomo conceded in Tuesday's primary after trailing by roughly 70,000 votes.
Wow.
The New York Post asked.
I mean, to be fair, did anybody think that they were going to accept Cuomo? Look at how he was during the scamdemic.
Yeah,
And that was
not
as
only
governor.
Dude, and he stepped. You know where he screwed himself when he stepped down from the governorship? He should have stood up to them and said, "No, force me out." But he cowered, put his tail between his legs, and showed how much of a weak man he really was.
Very true.
Now they're going to get stuck with this fucking guy, the Zohan. Oh man,
It's not
They're
good.
going to get stuck with not good at all. Mayor Adams, please, you got to win this race, brother. The
Asking for-
Republican, I don't. What is the Republican's name? That's where I'm going to look it up real quick while you're running that.
Yep.
I'm going to run it.
Lifeline on today's cover, calling Mamdani's victory a, quote, political earthquake, not just for the city, but for the entire state of the Democratic Party. And this might be why. Here are just some of his plans for New York City. Watch.
And our police force should not be assisting ICE.
Defund the NYPD and refund all of these different social services.
I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. I'll freeze the rent.
Oh, Curtis Sliwa won the Republican.
This
he
is
won, so the guy that Lebedo was endorsing didn't win it. He lost the primary.
This is literal socialism. What this guy's saying.
Yeah, but just so you know, Curtis Sliwa is the Republican nomination. He got the He won the nomination. All right, I take my endorsement back. Curtis Sliwa, guys, I love that dude, and he's. I didn't even know he was running again, but he did.
Yes.
He won 23 hours ago. They just released it. He wins the Republican primary nomination for the NYC mayor. Curtis Sliwa. We are officially endorsing Curtis Sliwa for the mayor of New York.
For millions
And
of
if you
tenants,
don't want to vote
make
for
buses
him,
fast
vote
and
at him.
free, and deliver universal child care. And before you ask, I'll pay
That's
for it
what I
by
was
taxing
talking
the rich. The mayor
There
will
you go.
use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism.
Mamdani was endorsed by key progressives like Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. AOC pushed for voters to choose his ultra-liberal policies. And now that her endorsement helped lock in his likely nomination, it may signal a path for AOC with voters in 2028. Political commentator Chris Saliza put it this way.
They really think
I'm Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and
how pathetic, dude.
Do
How
they really
pathetic.
think she's going to get the nomination for president in 2028?
Oh, she could. I think she could too.
I know we both have said that on this show, but I didn't believe myself when I said it. But you know what? It's starting to look like my first prediction was right. Oh my God, I meant it as a joke. I wasn't really serious.
No, these people are
shit.
These people are hard R's. They're hard R's, bro.
Oh man, it looks like my
as I
favorite.
mentioned, endorse Mamdani. If I see this result, I am thinking this is terrific.
Yo, you think she's going to throw Alex Stein in jail as her first thing she does as president?
And she'll have to throw the puppet in jail with it too. It'll be Edgar and Alex are in jail.
Right.
For me, it shows that there's energy in the liberal activist base of the party. It shows that the establishment is crumbling, right? All these politicians who are not AOC, other than Bernie Sanders, are in some way, shape, or form part of the establishment, right? Josh Shapiro or Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom. All these people have spent years in elected office. If I'm looking at this, I am thinking this bodes very well for me. It suggests that mad as hell Democratic voters are not going to just default back to a Joe Biden-like figure in 2028.
Yeah, they will. That's a damn lie. That is a damn lie. They will vote for whoever they are told to vote for because they are puppets and they are NPCs. That guy is lying. If they could throw a pile of shit at him, put a suit on it, and say that's your fucking candidate, and the fucking retarded Democrats would still fucking vote for it. So everything that guy just said is an absolute and utter fucking lie, dude.
Yeah, he's sugarcoating with those sugar shorts.
These people will vote for whatever the fuck they're told to vote for.
Yeah, they are, dude. They are.
That's
what the
to me,
Democrats
far
do, bro.
more frightening
It's
and
sad.
far more stark than his progressive
they're-
policies and
they're
plans with no
goofy.
backup
Yeah.
and lack of experience,
It's sad.
etc. Is his blatant and rife anti-Semitism.
Yes, it's horrific, to be honest with you. And this is not just terrible for Israelis and for the Jewish community. This is terrible for Americans. Let me start with the first thing
I
that to
agree.
me is the most violent and the most vile, which is his whitewashing of what Intifada is about. So he keeps saying the globalized Intifada means something else for different people. That is not true. I have lived through 2 Intifadas. I know exactly what they mean. An Intifada means a violent uprising against the Jews. It means car bombing and bus bombing and ramming through people with cars. It means stabbing and shooting. That's what that means. And to globalize that means to take into America and into Western civilization what we have been through in the Middle East. That's number one. Let's take the other thing, right? He's talking about the Holy Land Five. In his rap song in 2017, he said, I'm in love with the Holy Land Five. So let's explain what the Holy Land Fives are. They are convicted criminals that have been convicted in 2008 for material support for Hamas. In 2001, the Holy Land Foundation was actually dismantled. In 2001, it was shut down. And in 2008, they were convicted. These 5 people were convicted for supporting Hamas. He is saying that he is in love with those people and asking you to look them up. So I say, absolutely look them up. That guy is so radical. He might be some sort of a...
I'll tell you what, we don't have to watch much more of this.
Dude, she's really good though.
I'm just saying,
she's on a lot.
If NYC continues down this, or actually, here we go. Let's look at his platform. We can actually read this.
Let's take.
All right, so here we go. Housing, freeze the rent and build affordable housing. But it doesn't tell you that he wants to take $60 million to build that affordable housing.
Right.
So how is that affordable when everybody else has to pay for it? Creating city-owned grocery stores. You know what that means? Socialism. Here's your bread. Here's your bread. Here's your milk, peasant. Right. We're going to go eat steak and lobster. You go eat milk and bread and be happy with it because we're giving it to you for free. Right?
Right.
Fare-free buses. What good is that going to do? Who's going to maintain and take care of the buses?
I guess
gas isn't free.
Well, we already know who's taking care of the metro now. That's the federal government.
If that's the case,
America's not giving them any more money. They can kiss my ass.
If that's the case, shouldn't they just make gas free then for everybody? Why is it that people who ride the bus get that opportunity? Can I save some money and not spend money on gas?
Yeah, well, nobody drives cars except for the taxi.
Labor, look at this. Anyway. Raising the minimum wage to 30 by 2030. Who cares? Everybody's going to be a robot that's working there. Nobody's going to have jobs in New York City, and everybody's going to go crazy, and it's just going to be run with corruption and evilness.
And the ICE cooperation, which is a federal crime.
Yeah, I swear I hope he does, and Trump throws this fucking piece of shit in jail.
Yeah, this guy is a fucking joke, dude.
What a worthless scumbag.
What was that? What was about the LGBTQ? What was he trying to do with that?
Expanding and protecting gender-affirming care citywide. For who? If these fucking lunatics want to go cut their dicks off, let them go cut thean dicks off and pay for it themselves.
Pay for it themselves.
Let them pay for it themselves. We don't need this. Making NYC an LGBTQIA plus STDAIDS sanctuary city. For what? They're like 1% of the population. Yeah, I agree. Fuck it. Let's take all the illegal immigrants, all the fucking gays, and send them all to New York then. All of them.
Yeah,
there you
absolutely.
go. There you go. You guys can fucking have New York.
Here, you know what's going to be crazy, though, is New Yorkers believe that this guy's really going after the wealthy for the money.
No, he's doing it for the power. He's making use of wealth.
But they believe he's going to be able to do this. All that's going to happen is all those tall buildings with all those corporate businesses. Dude, they're going to move. And when they leave, Who do you think they're going after?
Yeah.
The middle class that's still whatever is left of the middle class in New York.
You can't
end left of you. He's coming after your
You can't
paycheck.
end ICE cooperation. That's against the law.
That's right. It is. It would be considered an act of treason.
Raising minimum wage to $30 by 2030, you are going to make no affordable housing. Everybody's going to have to live in affordable housing. Nobody's going to be able to afford to fucking live there.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't. These
Socialists and these fucking libtards are just something else anymore, dude. And it's getting worse.
On his face?
Yeah, he knows.
Look at that grin on his face.
He knows. This is the Zohan Bernie Sanders right here.
Yeah, he knows that he's full of shit, but what makes him smile is that he knows that because, dude,
he knows that all these dumb idiots. He's smiling. He's smiling because he knows all these idiots just voted for him. That's why.
Right. And he knows they're going to vote for him too. And here's what's going to end up happening, dude, because Eric Adams is running as an independent, and you've got Curtis Sliwa now, who just won the Republican primary. This is what's going to happen, dude. Whenever you have an independent and a Republican, and the independent and the Republican are closer, you end up having a split. He's going to be this guy, Zohan here, this freaking joke of a man is going to be the next mayor of. He's only going to be a one-termer.
No, I really hope he is. I really hope he is, and I hope New York City gets exactly what they asked for. You guys get exactly what you fucking deserve.
That's right. I wish it on him too, and I'm so glad that I'm going to New York in 2 weeks to get that out of the way, because after he becomes mayor, I don't want anything. I don't want to be anywhere close to New York City.
Yep. And don't cry about it either, libtards. Don't cry about it.
Yeah, they're gonna cry, dude. They're gonna
cry. They're gonna cry. They're gonna cry.
They're gonna cry like a baby. We're gonna call it crying baby New Yorkers.
Yeah. Man, oh man, it's just crazy to think what's going on. But luckily we got fucking joke. Luckily we got Trump in charge right now, and that's the blessing.
I think what's going to end up happening, because one thing I've learned about Democratic Socialists is they always do something shady that fucks them over. So he might not even make a full term, dude. He may not even make it.
You might be right.
He may not, because dude, you got to make it fair, free on the buses. Yeah, let's see how well that works when nobody wants to drive the bus.
No, let's see how well. Not only that, let's see how well that works when the fucking bus needs a new motor in it or something.
Exactly.
Who's paying for that?
He's sitting there and look at that. That grin right there says it all. He's like, I know I'm full of shit, but they're going to vote for me anyway.
Man, oh man. Well,
they're going to vote for me. And he's right.
Yeah.
And he's fucking right.
He is right.
He's fucking right.
He is right. Well, on that note, I think we're going to end it. I really do appreciate all you guys stopping by. Also, like we said before, please just make sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, smash that notification on your way out. I just want to thank God, because without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank Double D. I want to thank my family, and most importantly, second most importantly, after God, I want to thank you guys for giving us this opportunity and blessing us with your presence. Double D, I'm going to give it to you.
All right. And on that note, thank you, Bird, for joining me this evening for a great and funny episode with the Zohan.
Don't mess with him.
I can't help.
Don't mess with
the Zohan. He might actually win the election. Also, audience, if you stuck around, which I know you did, thanks for sticking around. We love you. We appreciate you. And most importantly, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And with that, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.